What's up, y'all? Candy Girl here, and I'm gonna give you my 2 cents on something that I've just seen over and over and over again, and it just irritates me every single time I see it. I've seen a lot of people commenting on pastors who drive nice cars, who have a nice house, who go on fancy trips and stuff like that, as if they don't deserve the finer things in life because they chose to be a servant of God. Now, while I agree that there are sacrifices that you have to make as a servant of God, and when you're taking the community's money and they are entrusting you with that money, you should be a careful steward of the church and its funds and making sure that it's being spent prudently. However, the Bible does say that if you delight yourself in the Lord, He'll give you the desires of your heart. He also says that He'll prepare a table for you in front of your enemies, and your cup shall overflow. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life. So, all of this to say that a pastor who is doing the work of the Lord and he's doing it right is going to be blessed. And that should be an example to you. Oh, honey, you don't do it. Don't do it. That should be an example for you that when you listen to God's call in your life, that your cup is going to overflow. You're going to be blessed beyond what you could have ever imagined. So it's disheartening to me when people say that there has to be something wrong with a pastor who enjoys the finer things in life and who can afford a nice car, who has a nice house, who goes on trips and things like that. Now, of course, if you are in a highly impoverished area and it seems like you have no ministries, you have no scholarship funds, you have no sense of giving back to your community, then there is something wrong with that. And I'm not saying that every single preacher has the right to spend as much of the church's money as they want. But what I am saying is, after you have served your community in the way that you see fit, that money can be used to compensate you according to, your works. Now, what I also see as an issue with people who have problems with a pastor being blessed is oftentimes those are the people who don't want to take responsibility for their life, who don't believe that, what am I trying to say? They believe that they're entitled to whatever they want. And so if they are going to a church, they pay their tithes and they're short on rent, they should be able to go to their pastor and get a good $500 easy and be able to make it. If they want to go to school, they should be able to get a scholarship. All this other stuff. But what I want people to continue to realize is that you are still responsible for your own actions. And while we do live in a system of oppression, with capitalism, the only way that it's going to work is if there are impoverished people. So, in essence, there's always going to be somebody that's impoverished. It's just the way that the system works. But nonetheless, just because you go to a certain church doesn't mean that you're entitled to everything within those four walls. And that's also true of the pastor. People who are always walking around with their hand out are usually the people and who expect their life to be easy because they're a Christian, are usually the people who are having trouble paying their bills month to month because they think that everybody is obligated to have their back instead of them taking personal responsibility for their lot on life. So, people who are always scrutinizing the church, first of all, you need to make sure that you're going to a church that just isn't cute and glitz and glam and doesn't put up all of these airs just so that you can feel like you're a part of some high, top-notch society. You need to be choosing a church that has fruitful ministries, that has charitable endeavors, who is reaching out in the community. And that way, there's no room for you to scrutinize what the pastor does with what's left. You know, it's just amazing how people think that a pastor is not entitled to be blessed because he serves an impoverished neighborhood. Now, everybody around you can be poor and you're the only person who is driving a Bentley. There is something wrong with that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he has to give up what he earns. What he needs to do is make sure that he's paying attention to the needs of his people. It's not so much they need money. They need financial literacy. It's not so much they need a scholarship. It is that, well, they do, a lot of scholarships are necessary, but they also need to know how to save up and get the things that they want in life. Okay? You don't know what that pastor is doing with the little bit of money that he does get. He could be sowing a seed in other people's life. He could be saving every little bit that he gets and then cashing it out for a really nice car. He could be investing it. He could be flipping houses. You don't know what he's doing. So stop looking in everybody else's pocket and concentrate on your own. And make sure that you are at least figuring out what that person is doing so you can do the same. But, you know, I'm getting tired of people just saying that pastors got to be broke and disgusted and busted all the time in order to prove that they're really for the people. That's not true. That means you don't need to be following him because he doesn't know what he's doing with his money. What makes you think he knows what to do with the church's money? All right, y'all let me know what you think about this. Do you think that pastors who serve an impoverished neighborhood but still are doing well financially, that there's some kind of unequal distribution of wealth in the church? Do you think that pastors have the right to do with their money as they see fit? Do you think that there should be some kind of limit on how much that person can make? And how do we base that limit when you've got people with really, really small churches and we've got people with mega churches? Like, how are we supposed to compensate for those differences? All right, y'all. Leave me your comments in the area below. If you haven't already, please go ahead and make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also, just to let you guys know, if you didn't watch my other video, I will be posting on the weekends instead of on Thursdays. I'm just like really tired on Thursday to be doing no videos. So I'm going to work towards just having something up by Sunday. And that being it. All right, y'all. Love and blessings.